So why is it important to have a learning design team focused on the future? And the challenge of course design is that essentially all learning designers are futurists. That's because the student who embarks on your design course will not develop the skills and attributes you anticipated until they've completed it. And if your course is part of a multi-year degree, you need to be thinking about a future that might be 3 or 4 years ahead. This might seem like common sense, and to some extent it is, but we often do not start the design process with the kind of collective reflection that ensures we're the right people to design this course or program, whether we have the foresight and skills to anticipate what the future holds. So it's self-evident that if you have designed your course around practical activities, say using a piece of software, and you know that that version will inevitably be replaced several times in the next 3 years, you're likely to teach just the core and enduring functionalities of that software. If you're teaching some aspect of urban planning, should you anticipate the impact of self-driving vehicles? When teaching a politics course on the Middle East, how well grounded are your assumptions about the immovable nature of borders? So some of you might say, but Simon, I teach history or foundation level biology or mathematics, and you may have a point. But I do stress may, because perspectives on history change as new evidence is revealed, biology advances every day as technology provides new insights, and new maths underpins much of the current artificial intelligence movement. So it's easier to teach about what is than about what might be, but we owe it to our students to try. So please reflect on how much your discipline has changed in just the last 5 or 10 years. So today I want to talk about how you orientate your design team to this mission. And it's important to establish the scope of any course or program design and the canvas upon which it's being painted. So the extent to which you have to spend time doing this will depend a lot on your own experience as a designer or as a team design lead, and indeed the experience of your design team members and the consistency within which your institutional plans or designs its courses. So you may also benefit from an institution that has a very experienced educational development unit that will assist you in your course design or program design. However, you should feel free to challenge any assumptions that they might have as well. So in stage 2 and 3 of the 8-stage learning development framework, which we'll deal with in future posts, we explore the broader context in which your course is being designed to ensure optimal alignment with students' expectations and institutional capabilities. But for now, we aim simply to ensure that we are setting off on the journey with a design team that is fit for purpose. So there are several foundational questions that your team needs to answer before you begin. These include: what's the credit value of this course? Most countries have nationally determined credit weightings for tertiary qualifications, such as 20 credits equaling 200 hours of student learning, and so on. Will your course fit into an existing program that will otherwise be unchanged? Or do you need to review the program outcomes? If you're designing a new program, what existing courses and pathways are anticipated? Will your offering be an option or a compulsory course? Will it have co-requisites, prerequisites, or post-requisites? What are the timetabling restraints? Is there a formal pattern for learning delivery? It could be that institutional expectation is for courses to be delivered through a fairly structured model, like 60-minute lectures and 120-minute seminar each week, or something like that. Will it be available for out-of-program enrolment? Some university courses are available for to the public on a course-by-course basis. So all of those kind of fundamental questions are orientating you as a team. But you do need to think about, in some detail as a design team, how your learning design is going to match future expectations. So before you even choose the actual design team, I suggest you bring together a group of your colleagues who teach within the same discipline or program. Some of these could be external to your institution, but they need to be aligned to the course that you're designing for. So this could be as few as 2 or 3 others, or it could be as many as you can fit into the room that you're using. For this exercise, there's little danger of too many cooks spoiling the broth, and having divergent opinions is a good thing. Although from experience, I would suggest 15 as an upper limit. You may identify a contributor that you must have on board, and perhaps others that you would rather not if you have enough people in the room at one time. So allow 60 minutes for this activity, sort of half and half, 30 minutes for these 2 questions. You need time to reflect on what's been said, and then you go back to this team and report back. So doing this exercise online via conferencing software may lack some of the interpersonal reaction, but you can automatically then generate a transcript, which can be useful. So there are really 2 very simple questions that you need to ask this group, this pre-design team group. The first is, what has changed in our discipline in the last 5 to 10 years? That's question 1. And what impact do we think artificial intelligence will have on our discipline? So asking the first question as a historical one will inevitably lead to responses that are both present focused and future focused. But trust me, I think if you don't curate the responses too much, some participants will want to look back and others will be more focused on the horizon. And that diversity of opinion as a round is very beneficial to the process. You may need to prompt some colleagues by citing recent scholarly research, particularly around the whole impact on AI. But I think it's really important to focus the conversation on societal changes resulting from recent developments in your discipline, so that all the participants are then focused on the future direction. From that process, you will be able to establish an effective design team, or the principles on which you will design your course.